This is the North End. This is the North End.
Hey guys, JP California coming at you guys from a really overcast. The rain literally stopped about 5 minutes ago. We've gotten rain 11 days in the first 15 or 16 in January. This is the most rain California's got in like 4 years. So it's pretty crazy out. Anyways, I had to sneak outside to do the video because the fiance is doing her work inside. I thought I would come at you guys for the news that Aston Villa secured the signing or is finalizing the signing for Jhon Duran. But before we get into it, please like and subscribe this video from us at the North End YouTube channel. We're doing all we can to put out content for you guys constantly. My hair looks terrible. I literally rolled out of bed an hour ago, and I'm getting after it on this holiday for us. Anyways, Jhon Duran is looking to be completed from Chicago Fire. This is a 19-year-old. He's 6'1". I don't know what that is in centimeters for you guys in England. He's 6'1". He has a good frame to him. Looks like he could put on 5, maybe 15 pounds to weigh himself out with the athletes. He's coming to Aston Villa being a regular sub who became a starter at Chicago Fire. And I'm going to tell you guys straight up, I don't know a whole hell of a lot. This is the quick research that I've done this morning, videos and what I've looked up at who scored, because I'd never heard of the guy. He was relatively unknown among MLS fans. They just knew he was a hot young prospect, and it looks like he had been growing in some time. There's been some rumors, some whispers about him for Aston Villa for the better part of a month of that Aston Villa taking an eye on him. But there's a little bit more apparently going on. Now he has to get cleared for his visa to even become an Aston Villa player, and this whole deal is contingent on that. We have had players in the past where they needed the visa and it got denied. So we'll see what happens here with this player. I'm excited, but I'm excited maybe a little differently than a lot of Aston Villa fans are. A lot of Aston Villa fans, look at the schedule and pick out games that they should win, and you should never do that. And B, they look at young players and they put so much hype on him. And I'm going to tell you right now, Aston Villa fans, he's not coming good this year. He's not. So just stop. Stop that. Don't put the everything. My Villa fan said, oh, he's Benteke, he's Messi, he's Neymar, he's Mbappe, all rolled into one. It's like, dude, shut up. You're going to ruin this kid. And Villa fans, you can't. Don't even talk about him. Cheer him on, and that's it. Don't do anything. Treat him like you're treating Sanson right now, which is just thank you, thank you, thank you. Because this kid isn't going to do anything for us for the rest of the season. And I think it's going to take him well into next season to get acclimated right and to get used to the English game. And so if we want him to do anything for Aston Villa, we got to give him time. We got to give him time, just like we're starting to learn that we need to give Emery time. So let's get into a little bit about him. He has 14 starts and 13 sub appearances, totaling 27 games last year for the MLS Chicago Fire. They bought him a year before that. They bought him as a 17-year-old. He was the youngest MLS player ever bought and brought into the MLS. He then stayed with his home team in Colombia for an extra season until he turned 18, and then he transferred to Chicago. Chicago Fire looked like they really bedded him in slowly. Right, they gave him those sub appearances for the first half of the season, and then he started to finalize and really break into the team in the last half of the season, which is where he scored most of his goals as well. He had 8 goals and 3 assists in those 27 appearances, but only 14 starts, which is that's a little bit better. That feels better, right? 8 goals and 3 assists in 14 games sounds a lot better. But let's be honest. 6 of those goals came in the latter half. Right, so that's much better. Oh, I have my notes onto the wrong side. He is moving for 22 million US dollars, which is 15 million pounds, and can raise up to 18 million pounds. He has a Who Scored rating of 6.69 or 6.7, which is lower than the 7 that we all want. Taking that from some different Aston Villa channels, name drop them. He does have 1 red card in those 27 appearances. He has 2.2 shots per game. He has a 70% pass completion rating, which as a forward is not bad. I'd like it to be closer to that 75 rating. Whoa. I just got beamed with the sun. Apparently, California is returning back to normal. He has 3 Man of the Match awards, and he has a few positives and a few negatives. One of his positives is he has several positives from Who Scored. He's really good in the air. His aerial duel rate, completion rate is near that 2% per game, which isn't high, but he probably duels much more than he doesn't. His finishing is pretty good, and he takes a lot of long shots. He did have one sweet goal just outside the 18 where the ball rolls across him. He touches it wide onto his left foot, smacks it, and just hits a beautiful left-footed screamer into the side net. He also has a high work rate defensively. So Unai Emery is looking to get forwards who are going to contribute to the team, both offense and in defense. Compactness, right? He likes that 4-4-2, and we defend, it even becomes like a 6-2-2. And so he wants a forward that will come into our own half, not only into our own half, but sometimes into our own third, and defend from the deep, hold that defensive shape until we can spring out on the counterattack, which works well for Jhon Duran because he is a counterattacking machine. That is one of his specialties, is that he gets up into attack. He is not a lazy runner. He is pretty quick, and he has some power behind him. He seems very strong. His shoulder span is pretty big. He seems like he can get his arms up and protect the ball pretty well from what I saw in the videos. He does get fouled often, which could be a positive or a negative depending on how you look at it, but he also does foul often, right? He does seem like he has some longer legs. He's going to have to, again, put on a little bit of weight for him for the EPL, but he does look like he gets involved in a tackle and pushing outside defenders. A lot of the videos show him collecting a ball wide of the play, turning a player and getting around. A lot of his hold-up play looks very decent, and so it looks like Unai Emery is trying to find somebody that's going to combine well with Ollie Watkins or Danny Ings, guys who do the hustle well. But Danny Ings is not a hold-up guy. He's not, and Ollie Watkins does very well at it. But it's very clear he wants to be running at the 18-yard box and not with his back at the opponent's 18-yard box. So it seems like we're trying to find this power forward, this kind of maybe even an old-school Christian Benteke. I don't want to say that because Christian Benteke was 6'3" and an aerial threat and all these other things, and is honestly one of the best strikers Villa had since 2000, since Juan Pablo Angel. But this guy does look like he's trying to live up to that type of a player, where he's just a big, menacing guy. He holds guys off, he runs at them. Right now he's currently playing with the Colombian national team, or their U20 team, so he's going to be tied up for the better part of the next few weeks. So don't be surprised if you don't hear about him for the next 2 or 3 weeks, because I don't think you're going to see him at the game in a week. I don't think he's going to be at Southampton. I don't think he's going to be at any Villa game for the rest of the month. The reports are that his medical will be completed in Colombia, where he's on the national team duty. And so, Villa fans, oh, goodness gracious, I swear I'm burning out here. Don't be surprised if you don't see him for a while. And honestly, I think Villa fans should forget about him for a while. Villa fans need to relax that pressure that we put on youngsters, that we've put on guys like Cameron Archer, Nathan Delfonso, guys like, oh my goodness, we just had that young guy about 4 or 5 years ago who came on as a 16-year-old under previous managers, 17-year-old, and he just never made the grade, right? So Villa fans, you really got to take a step back off this youngster. If we want him to be successful, you guys got to not press him. You got to just thank him for his contributions and encourage him any way you can. I don't see him starting games before the end of the season. I could be wrong, but I see him getting 5 to 10 good sub appearances, maybe getting those last minutes from Danny Ings or Ollie Watkins. It was very clear Villa needed a forward. I still believe we will go in for another wide forward in the summer, but this might tide us over until then. And just to wrap up the video, I think Villa are still in for a center mid. Matteo Guendouzi has a lot of legs to it. I think there's something there. So it does look like Villa are trying to complete 3 signings before the window. Jhon Duran, Alex Moreno, and possibly Matty Guendouzi. that's going to be it for me, JP California. The sun is finally coming back out and basking us. It's about time. I can't even coach. We can't even play soccer because the fields here are all flooded. It's such a terrible time. But guys, I hope you guys like the video. Like and subscribe. Get after us here at the North End YouTube channel. Tell me if you think I'm trash. Tell me if you think I'm great. I don't give a shit. But tell me something. Come at us. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
This is the North End.